There is a mistake many men make that feels like love in the moment, but slowly destroys their confidence, their peace, and sometimes even their entire future. The scary part is that they usually don't realize it's happening until the relationship is already falling apart. They think they are being loyal, understanding, patient, or romantic. But what they are actually doing is giving away their self-respect, one decision at a time. Stoic philosophers warned about this thousands of years ago. They understood that the greatest danger in any relationship is not rejection, betrayal, or heartbreak. It is losing control of yourself. Because the moment another person becomes the source of your worth, your emotions, and your identity, you stop living as a free man. Today, we're going to explore 5 mistakes men must avoid with women, not because women are the enemy, but because these mistakes can quietly destroy a man's character, confidence, and ability to lead his own life. If you've ever felt confused, taken for granted, emotionally exhausted, or trapped in unhealthy relationship patterns, this video may reveal exactly why. One of the biggest mistakes a man can make is placing a woman at the center of his entire existence. At first, this often looks harmless. He wants to spend all his time with her. He stops seeing his friends as often. He abandons hobbies he once enjoyed. His personal goals begin to fade into the background because all his attention is focused on making her happy. He starts believing that if he can just keep her satisfied, everything else will work itself out. But Stoicism teaches that no external person should become the foundation of your inner stability. Imagine a man who once worked passionately toward building a business, improving his health, or developing his skills. Then he enters a relationship and slowly neglects those things. Months later, he finds himself emotionally dependent on her approval because he no longer has anything else that gives him purpose. When she pulls away emotionally or becomes less attentive, his entire world feels like it's collapsing. Why? Because he built his identity around her instead of around his values. A healthy relationship should enhance your life, not replace it. A woman may admire your strength, ambition, and independence, but when she becomes your entire purpose, you often lose the very qualities that attracted her in the first place. Another mistake many men make is ignoring obvious warning signs because they are afraid of losing the relationship. Fear has caused more suffering than reality ever could. Stoicism teaches that we must see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Yet many men become experts at making excuses. They see disrespect, but call it stress. They see dishonesty, but call it misunderstanding. They see manipulation, but call it passion. They convince themselves that things will improve if they just try harder. Consider the man who notices that his girlfriend constantly lies about small things, openly flirts with other men, or repeatedly disrespects his boundaries. Deep down, he knows something is wrong. His instincts are warning him. But because he fears loneliness, he remains silent. Months later, the problems become larger and more painful. The Stoics believed that courage means facing reality, even when reality is uncomfortable. The truth may hurt today, but ignoring it often creates greater pain tomorrow. A wise man does not ignore red flags simply because he likes the person holding them. He evaluates behavior honestly and makes decisions based on facts rather than emotions. A third mistake is seeking constant validation from women. This trap is especially dangerous because it often disguises itself as confidence. Some men become addicted to approval. They need compliments to feel valuable. They need attention to feel attractive. They need constant reassurance to feel secure. The problem is that validation from others is temporary. One compliment can make them feel amazing today, while one criticism can destroy their confidence tomorrow. The Stoics taught that true confidence comes from your own character, not from other people's opinions. Imagine 2 men. One receives praise from everyone around him. The other receives very little recognition. Yet the second man remains calm because he knows his worth is based on his actions, discipline, and principles. The first man becomes anxious whenever approval disappears. The second man remains steady because his confidence comes from within. In relationships, men who constantly seek validation often become needy without realizing it. They overanalyze texts, worry excessively about being liked, and become emotionally dependent on attention. A Stoic man appreciates affection, but he does not require it to feel complete. The fourth mistake is sacrificing personal boundaries in order to avoid conflict. Many men have been taught that keeping the peace means saying yes to everything. They believe that disagreement automatically threatens the relationship. As a result, they suppress their opinions, tolerate disrespect, and constantly compromise their own needs. Over time, resentment begins to grow. Stoicism teaches that virtue requires honesty and courage. A man who cannot defend his principles will eventually lose respect for himself. Consider a situation where a woman repeatedly cancels plans at the last minute without consideration. Instead of expressing how he feels, the man says nothing because he doesn't want to create tension. Or perhaps she regularly insults him during arguments, and he remains silent because he fears confrontation. Eventually, he becomes frustrated, bitter, and emotionally exhausted. Boundaries are not walls designed to keep people out. They are guidelines that protect mutual respect. Healthy relationships require both people to understand what is acceptable and what is not. A man who calmly communicates his standards often earns more respect than a man who tolerates everything in silence. The fifth mistake may be the most destructive of all, believing that love alone can fix someone's character. Many men fall in love with potential instead of reality. They see who a woman could become rather than who she currently is. They convince themselves that enough patience, understanding, sacrifice, or affection will eventually transform her into the person they want her to be. But Stoicism teaches that each individual is responsible for their own choices and growth. You cannot force maturity. You cannot force honesty. You cannot force accountability. Imagine a man dating someone who repeatedly makes destructive decisions. She refuses to take responsibility for her actions, creates unnecessary drama, and shows no desire to change. Yet he stays because he believes his love will eventually save her. Years pass, and the same problems remain. He becomes emotionally drained because he has spent all his energy trying to control something that was never within his control. The Stoics constantly reminded us to focus on what we can control and release what we cannot. You can offer support, you can offer guidance, but you cannot do another person's inner work for them. What makes these 5 mistakes so dangerous is that they often happen gradually. No man wakes up one morning intending to lose his purpose, ignore warning signs, seek validation, abandon boundaries, or become responsible for someone else's growth. These habits develop slowly through small decisions repeated over time. One compromise becomes another. One excuse becomes a pattern. One fear-based choice becomes a lifestyle. Before long, a man finds himself wondering why he feels weak, frustrated, or disconnected from the person he used to be. The Stoics understood that character is built through daily choices. Every moment presents an opportunity to either strengthen your self-respect or weaken it. Every relationship either encourages your growth or reveals areas where growth is needed. The truth is that healthy relationships are not built on obsession, fear, or dependency. They are built on mutual respect, emotional maturity, honesty, and personal responsibility. A strong man does not lose himself in a relationship. He brings his best self into it. He maintains his purpose. He faces reality honestly. He finds validation within. He protects his boundaries. And he understands that love is not about controlling another person. It is about sharing life with someone while remaining true to your own principles. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, your mind is your own. No person should have the power to take control of it unless you hand them the keys. The strongest relationships are formed when two complete individuals choose to walk together, not when one person becomes emotionally dependent on the other for survival. The moment you stop chasing approval, stop ignoring reality, and stop sacrificing your values for temporary comfort, you begin to develop the kind of inner strength that attracts respect naturally. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on which of these 5 mistakes may be affecting your life right now. Self-awareness is the first step toward change. And remember, Stoicism is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It is about becoming strong enough that your emotions serve your wisdom rather than control it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Psychovest community. Leave a comment below and tell us which of these 5 mistakes you believe is the most common among men today. And as always, keep building the kind of mind that remains steady no matter what life or love places in your path.